because that will give us the best yield on that. I will plant, once we've foraged the maize, I will plant both fields with grass again. So we'll have a huge first cut and then plant the maize. And we are getting rather close to a point where I'm not going to be able to run all the way to the edge of the field at this end either. Do have a little bit of cat swinging space at this end, which was kind of useful. We did end up with an Agco Massey Ferguson harvester with probably one of the smaller headers that's good for it. It had the self-leveling thing, which if you look at the angle of the field up there, was quite interesting to see. The harvester sits upright, but the header is sloped for the grade on the field. Kind of nice, but it was also, I think, the smallest of those, that model of harvester. It was having huge problems running up the hill with the header running. So running up that way towards the top of the field was just horrible. I think it was the 7T. I'm going to go to the end here, we'll turn around, I'll put it on cruise control, see if I can find it. What I can't remember about the baler is whether we used the Fendt or the Massey Ferguson last time. Unfortunately, it was on store sale, so it wasn't something I could pick. Yeah, you make your choices with that. Okay, where is mower is done. Okay. Oh. Flip it around. We can clear the course, obviously. Okay, oops, and we're actually going forwards. I forgot about that. So, next field is right next door, and we can nip through this small gap, although I will set up course play to run from the entrance over here, since this is where we want to end up. Swing that round again and saving content. Ooh, do that. And we're in the right place. So get that unfolded. And go. Awesome. Where are we going to stop? Stop should. Where are we going to stop? Oh, we don't see the stop sign at this point. Okay. Just going to let him do his thing. We continue. 70.3, that's good. Harvesters, so it was the 7 series. That's the 9. That's the big one. So we ended up with one of these. And I'm guessing it was the smallest engine. Yes. So we got the 7PL. And then header combinations, we had a 30-foot header. It's a good track, it's a good harvester. This one is much bigger. You've got the 9T, oh, this goes 70 up to the 9T, but it has the tracks, definitely didn't have a tracked one. And this one runs with a 40-foot header. Okay, 2 of them. Doesn't have a corn header with it. So anyway, yeah, we ended up with a little 7. They have good sized tanks. You're talking 10,000 litres easily. So it took, I think it's 4 loads to fill up our new grain cart, which is quite good. And because I did oats, this tractor could haul it quite happily. So we're all good with that. And that would be the phone. So we'll do a quick check on that. Steer it at 90 degrees. And let's say nothing. Oh yes. I think that's what I used to do on Farm Sim 17 before I taught myself how GPS worked. Was when I'm running across the field in this direction, I'm running at sort of just under 91. Going the other way, I'm running at 269. So you're actually converging on what you've already done, which makes it less likely that you're going to hit, you're going to leave a gap in what you're doing. Not the most efficient way of doing it, obviously, once I taught myself how to do GPS in that day and age. I quickly switched to doing that instead, because obviously far more accurate keeping the rows, and you get the work done a little bit quicker. So today is a sunny day according to the weather report. So shouldn't have to stop for rain. 15 minutes on the mowing, so that's good. This has worked out quite nicely. It's only a single headland here. But once I've done this bit, we can get to work on the top section. I think what I'm going to do here, we'll take this all the way up to the top here, and then we'll probably start at the top of the hill and work my way down rather than trying to work this up the hill. I mean, I shouldn't have a problem. This cultivator is less than 230 horsepower requirement, and this tractor has just shy of 400, so we're definitely got the power to climb here. guess, a bit of a surprise this week for people who watch Tom Pemberton only on YouTube and don't follow Instagram or anything else, I guess, because I don't. I just watch him on YouTube. He got himself a new tractor. Nice little Case IH 150. Which I must admit was kind of something I was looking at. Possibly not a 150, probably 180 to 220. But we haven't seen any new ones come onto the store sale, so I'm pretty much stuck with what we're doing here. Yeah. Should consider filling this thing up with diesel at some point. This is where it's going to get interesting, trying to line it all up. We're not riding on the 270 either, so I could end up with a lot of overlapping or missed bits as we work our way up the field here. Like I already did. Oh. I am taking a little bit of an advantage with a game quirk here, where if I select reverse and then push the accelerator, it will apply the brakes and stop me. Then I have to take my foot off the accelerator in order to go forwards. So going backwards, I select forward, the brakes come on, I then have to take my foot off. Drive, and that will cover what you need to do. But sometimes I forget to reverse gear and we go racing off down the hill. Because why not? That's also good fun. Close. That's close enough. We missed a tiny bit there. Not enough to notice. So what else is going on today? So there's a thing for the young kids at church today. I think it's a sort of something to do while all the heathens are doing Halloween. At least that's what we think it is. They've never done it before. But that's like, I think it's 5 o'clock till 8 o'clock. There'll probably be food. There'll probably be candy. I think what I'm going to do here is just run down the field. Because this looks like I'm going to get pretty much straight on this line now. And now that I'm working against that side of the field, it's going to be easier to judge where the cultivator needs to drop in order to get even coverage. Don't know how far we've been yet. We also we have regular wheels on this and no weights. And again, now that we're looking at just having a voucher for mowing and nothing else, I don't need wide wheels or weights on it, but I think because I've spent the money, that's factored into the repair cost, even if I switch the wheels down to regular, standard. But I think for the most part, the Valtra, because it's got reverse drive and it's got GPS, that makes it a very expensive to purchase tractor and does boost up the cost of maintenance quite significantly. Not having a loader attacher on it is also going to make a difference, and I've said we're probably going to be looking at a telehandler rather than a tractor for most of our loader work. Although, again, something Tom threw out this week, sometimes when you have to go out to a field to pick up bales, a loader tractor is better option than a telehandler, because a telehandler is really heavy and sinks into the mud when it's wet. So you can do it with a loader so long as the grass is dry, and because there's been so much rain in the UK in the last couple of months, he's kind of looking at, I can't get the loader out into the field because it just sinks. Then last week he had the bale trailer on empty, was stuck in the mud, so wasn't collecting bales the previous week. But that's sort of a consideration. For the most part, on our farm, we're not using bales, so we don't really need to worry about a loader tractor per se, but having a bucket is kind of useful, especially if we want to move snow. I do have the snow blower, but sometimes having a shovel's good. Having a shovel to tidy up the silage clamps, we've found, is quite handy. And then lifting pallets and what have you. Yeah, having a small loader, telehandler, or even a small loader tractor. Something like the little orange tractor we used to have before I sold it to buy the Deutz. And that was definitely a good move on our part. We needed something with a little bit more horsepower that could cope with, it can haul the baler, it can haul the tedder, it can actually do a little bit more than the Kubota could do. Can even haul that small loading wagon. Although, as I said, if we only have to complete a couple of contracts here, and I could turn around and get that £60,000 loading wagon, which means we would have to haul it with the case, the class. But I'm not too fussed about that. The class is a cheap big tractor to maintain. Obviously the Deutz is better, but if I'm doing things with the Deutz, small things with the Deutz, then I can use the class for hauling, especially considering some of the grades on this in this area. It's kind of a heavy job hauling stuff up and down some of the hills here. And again, much like Lawfolds, we are looking at overpowered vehicles just to get around and do things. So I'll probably get another big no-frills tractor to complement this one to do field work and haulage, just so we can spread the hours out and keep things going. How is this one doing? We're down to 80%, so I'm probably going to have to put this through the shop once we're done with this contract. Probably need to check the Valtra when it's finished doing the current field, which will be in 42 seconds. Well, there we go. Since we're still fairly close to the yard, that's going to be the best time to check on any issues with it before we go further afield. But it's cycling through the workshop very, very quickly now. It's cleared 50 hours. And we did have the reduced maintenance mod running in Maypole, which meant everything was cheaper and you could go for longer between services. Anyway, I'm going to get to the top here. We'll swing it about and then we'll go off and check on our little Valtra. Now, just to cover all the bases, I could get a Valtra N with the biggest engine. I think the problem with the Valtra N, it goes up to about 170, and then the next step up is 203-ish, 205-ish, and our mower and rake need 180 or more. Okay, you're done again. Engine on, turn it around, clear the course. Now, 85%. I think we probably went out on 100%, so I think we're good here. Don't need to service it, the tank's full. Okay. Oh, I forgot about that. I've got it on round. It means that there's no gaps within the field, but we're not squaring off the edges. That's kind of fine. Where are we going? We have that one done, that one done, that one to do, and then that one. So if I turn right and left. Works for me. So yeah, there's less missed sections within the field, but the corners around it. Now, obviously, with something like a harvesting contract, which technically a baling contract is, I could cut to the edges, but we already know that we produce way more grass than the contract calls for by quite a significant margin. So we don't need to be absolutely fastidious on what grass we're collecting. I think if I was doing it, I would trim the corners, but we're just getting this job done while I fill in time, and then as soon as we start rowing, I can get back out with the Deutz and start doing the baling. Now the baling is going to take a lot longer than the rowing, so I'm gonna, yeah, there's gonna be a time delay there. And then collecting is collecting is going to be another manual job. So we've got 2 manual jobs. I can't, because of the way the rower works, I can't set the I can't copy the course and translate it to what? Cancel back. I'm not in the field, that's why. Tractor needs to be in the field for it to figure out I'm in a field and I need to generate a course. So that's good. Going to end up over there. We're going to start here. That's fine, I guess. Ooh. But yeah, and the thing with this, the silage contracts, if the rower rode to the centre, then we could just set the baler on follow me and get that whole job done effectively in one time slot. But because it's actually, it always rows to the side, I can't do a follow me, I can't do a copy the course. So I have to do the rowing manually, or I have to do the baling manually, and then I have to do the rowing. The collecting, obviously, is always manual. And the delivery points for a lot of bales don't quite work on the send the contractor out there. It's a problem I had with harvesting this field. We had to deliver to the grain mill, which is northwest of our farm, and I had to take the tractor out to the road, then set it up on a course to drive to our yard, and then once it got to our yard I had to set it on a second course to get it into the roadway outside of the grain mill, and then I had to drive it into the grain mill manually. So not the most ideal situation. It's a darn sight better than Maypole was, and if I could figure out how to set up an auto drive network, I could probably do it even better than that. But nah. I think I have the auto drive network stuff downloaded. I just don't know how to activate it and get it working. Didn't check on how far we have to do. That's another 15-minute mowing job. I think we're over halfway on the cultivating. I could look at the lime spread, I guess. Oh, we're 80% done on the cultivating, so not too much further to go, but because we're doing 4 mowing contracts, it would be kind of nice to just